Jon, I understand you knew Stephen's parents, and I wondered if that helped in any way as you sat down to write music for the movie version of Leah and Arnold.
Well, I knew both Stephen's parents and admired them both, enjoyed them both very much. I can't say, Jon, looking at the film and working on it, have made me. I hope it is worthy of them, whatever I've done in this.
Oh, it is.
I was listening to this track here a moment ago, and it made me think of, this is the kind of music that can invoke or can create a kind of dream state, you know, where gravity is suspended and emotion is slowed down, and we ruminate about our situation in the universe, the world. We talked a lot about music, what it kind of evokes tonight. It's a very powerful thing.
You know, Stephen, I mean, this must have been so personal for you. Jon was essentially writing music for your life.
Well, you know, I've spent my entire life leaving home to go make movies. This is the first time I got to come home to make a film, which is why this is so important to me, and why I think it was so important to you and our collaboration on this, because I had never done anything that made me, I never done anything to make me really feel that, you know, that I was exposing something that 10 years ago I never would have dreamed of talking about. You know, we covered our secrets, we covered our privacy. I certainly covered mine. Yet my mother encouraged me to tell the story at the restaurant, the Milky Way. I'd go in there and she'd always say, you know, Steve, throughout our entire lives, I've given you a lot of good material. When are you going to do something with it? And so she was really utzing this in a sense. And Tony Kushner, who wrote this with me, was on the other side of me, actually pushing me to take some of these memories and put them down on paper and then find a way to express this. But I think after my mom passed and after I lost my dad and today, I think today is the January, what's today? January 12th. Today would have been my mother's birthday. So I'm here talking about Fablemans on my mother's birthday. And, you know, she would have loved that round of applause because she was a performer and she loved that kind of a response. Obviously, this was obviously for me, or not obviously, for me, it is the most private and personal experience of my whole career.